Hello and welcome everybody into some Wednesday night racing action here with the Vigilante Racing League, as it is cut day here once again, where the field of playoff drivers gets even smaller down into the championship race coming up here next week. Boy, oh boy, is this going to be a fun time for everybody, as we're here in Iowa, one of our favorite, best big little short tracks that the iRacing service has to offer. Which driver's going to make it on through, or which ones are going to be eating corn in the hayfields later on here tonight? Now we're going to have to wait and find on out as we send it on down to get this party all started with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. As always, we have to say a huge proud thank you to the sponsors here of the VRL to help put on an amazing show like they always do. And that's with Mr. GC Cruise Travel and Greg Klein. Give him a call at 918-906-5616 or shoot him an email or a message over on the Facebooks. So that way you can get cruising or vacationing and relaxing all that much sooner, all while saving a boatload of money on top of it all. Be sure to use a qualified travel agent like Mr. Greg Klein there to help aid you in your itinerary needs, or just getting everything all booked up and underway, because planning a vacation can be stressful. Just get to relax on here quicker today by using GC Cruise Travel, official travel provider of AAA Broadcasting and the VRL. Big thank you as well to Blue Fox Properties and Mr. Dave Mayberry. Give him a call at 520-850-4189 if you're looking to buy or sell your house in the Tucson, Arizona area, or anywhere across the country. Let Dave and his 18 plus years of experience buying and selling homes all the way across the USA to help get you into that home of your dreams. Because when I say this housing market just gets crazier and crazier every single day, oh, you know it, baby. So that's why you should get a good quality realtor like Mr. Dave Mayberry here today. Again, we also have to say a huge thank you to D&D Race Graphics and some phenomenal paint schemes coming out of that garage, as well as some beautiful splash screens each and every single week. So help beautify that iRacing experience and get yourself a customized paint scheme here done by D&D Race Graphics, and that is done by the man himself, Mr. Ricky Wittenberg and Southbound Real Estate. Give him a call at 423-444-0454 if you're looking to buy or sell your house in the kind of Tennessee area. He got the Eastern Seaboard all locked on in, and he can definitely, just like Dave, help you out get into that home of your dreams. So big thank you to Mr. Ricky Wittenberg and Southbound Real Estate. As always, I am Alan Brown, and I am joined by my partner in crime, the brewmaster in general, Mr. Alan English. Alan, welcome back to the Hawkeye State here tonight. It's gonna be a wonderful time. We always love seeing these races here at Iowa. Kind of races like that 1.5 mile racetrack, but all in a under a mile square footage here. That's just kind of one of those nights that we always love to see.
Yeah, a little less than 9/10 of a mile here. This track produced some great racing. It's very flat here, but it's pretty good and wide. I think most of the trouble that we've seen, I think we both, or all three of us, had talked about it during the practice session, was guys trying to put down power coming out of turn 4. That's going to be a problem all freaking night. I have a feeling here in the Corn Belt, and we'll see. We'll see if these guys can control it. You know, guys get the jitters under practice, and for some of the drivers, you know, this might be the first series laps that they've run here at this track this season. So they might just be getting used to how far can they push that set of tires rolling on the gas. So we'll see how it goes here. Looking forward to a good one here at Iowa.
And that indeed is down there on pit road, the master of anger management. He's the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Adam Turner, all locked in and loaded. Adam, gonna be a wicked and tumbly wild ride. We had a crazy race last week at Sonoma, something that we did not expect to see whatsoever, especially coming from a road course. And that's gonna continue to roll off here tonight as well, I think, as we start to make the second and final cuts heading into these playoffs here, buddy.
Yeah, there's 8 drivers left, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be serious tonight. I mean, there's probably going to be some stuff happen that may not normally happen. I think people fighting to stay in the playoffs. I think we might see some aggression, hopefully some fisticuffs. You know, maybe somebody throws a helmet at somebody. I don't know, but I do know you'll go through the playoff drivers and how that works. But I think it's going to make for some fun. But like you said, or English said, turn 4 is going to be tough. There's bumps in 1 and 2, according to our spy that is out on the track tonight. So there's some areas on the track that are hard to deal with, and we're going to see if these guys are too aggressive early and make some mistakes, or maybe just save that aggression till later. That's what I would do, at least in the second half of the race. Just kind of feel it out in the first half. But hey, I'm not in the playoffs. These guys are, so it ought to be real interesting here. I'm going to give you some rules now, Brown. 1 fast repair, 60% fuel, 5 total sets of tires. I think that's going to be necessary tonight. 25x penalty, 6x you get another penalty. But it's a perfect night. I mean, the track is 76, the ambient temp is 74, so you can't get much better weather for racing.
No, you cannot, as we take a look at tonight's race information, and beautiful weather to be had indeed under these Iowa night skies. It's wonderful to always see those bright floodlights come on and illuminate this track as the drivers slowly finish up their qualifying efforts. No crazy weather like rain or anything like that in the forecast, so it should be a fun-filled night for each and every single one of all these drivers. Bringing us down to tonight's key to the race, and we all touched on it there a little bit. You got to be a little big out here at this little big track. It's kind of one of those tracks where you got to make that car feel like it's 2, 3, 4 lanes wide to try to keep that precious, ever so precious track position.
Yeah, and if you're trying to make positions too on the folks in front of you, know, switch it up, switch your laning up, your lines up just a little bit. Watch what they're doing. Try to do the opposite going into a set of turns and throw them off. Make a mirror drive. I mean, putting pressure on the vehicle ahead of you can really force them into a mistake. So, and the mistakes here at this track at Iowa are not very forgiving. So, besides having some runoff area, you know, it's pretty treacherous out there. So, yeah, force the guy in front of you into a mistake. Not necessarily going up and climbing them, you know, just dump.
Why not?
But
you should.
But you can do it other ways, you know. So I think we'll see some of that tonight. Some head games being played by the drivers.
Well, in the real race, that's how they get it. You get somebody out of your way. If you just push, you give them a little bump, they're going to most likely glide up the track with minimal damage, and you're going to move them out of the way physically. And that's where people start to get a little angry. So I'm hoping we do that, and that's what you call a Klein. Greg Klein is famous for ruining drivers' nights.
Sure, and
not necessarily in this league. He's more tame here, but when he used to race other leagues, he would just drive through people.
We've all been dumped personally by Klein probably
we
3
have,
or 4 times each.
At least, yes.
Oh,
looks like a qualifying might be over there, Brown.
That it indeed is. That means we get to send it on down to where all the drivers are lining up on pit road to tell everybody where their favorite driver is starting here tonight. And up on pole position, one of your playoff drivers is going to be that 7 of Mr. Timothy Pope. Taking that number 1 spot. To his outside is going to be the 84 of another playoff driver in Mr. Josh Bittner. 89 of Craig Goodenough. So 3 of the contenders here tonight is going to be starting up towards the front. 89 Craig Goodenough having a great starting spot. He's going to have the 6 of Trevor Robertson, always dangerous at these tracks. Got to watch out for him as he starts up there in 4th. The 14 of Dustin with a Y. Dustin Eaton just going to full send it around here, try to race his way into a chance to pick up a championship here this season, starting there in that 5th hole. To his outside's the 1 of David Fight, always looking ready to fight it out here. He's got the 74 of Zachary Hallinan sitting behind him in 7th, with the 55 of Ricky Wittenberg starting here tonight in 8th. 81, Jonathan Osborne has been on a heater here in these playoffs. Looking forward to seeing if he can continue that momentum here tonight in 9th, with the 69 of the Milk Dud, Larry Dickerson, rounding out your field starting top 10.
That 10 machine of Andrew Cawthon is going to start in 11th place. Outside of him there in row number 6 is going to be George Rincon in the 28. Just a matter of time before we see old George on the top of the podium there. The 123 of John Gallagher starts in 13th place. 14th, Dave, the nickname Mayberry, in the 29 truck. Let's see. The 99 truck, Albert Anderson, America's driver, starts in 15th place. 16th, the aforementioned Greg the Kleiner Klein in the 92 there. Watch out, folks. He'll dump you. The 43 of John Curtis starting in that 17th spot. Outside of him in row number 9, going to be Kelly Keel in the 01. The 085, Greg Dobson, starts in 19th place. And very happy birthday to our buddy up there north of the border in Canada. Greg Dobson celebrating a birthday today. And his Canadian brother there, Sean McDonald. No, Sean's not from Canada, is he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Is he really? Okay, the 23 Sean McDonald starts in 20.
All right, we do have a couple of EOLs tonight. Jess and Deion Jones, Michael Adamson. So I'm just going to run these down. They might not be in this order. Mike Average, 82, 21st, 22nd. Another Canadian, Jack Dixon in 19. 53, Jeremiah Burke, Jess Vaught. Michael Adamson, Kyle Vaught in the 16th, Jacob Young. 434 of Kevin Hunt and Deion Jones. Not in that particular order. I don't know what order they'll be in because they've been given penalties. They were bad last week or something.
I forgot where Sean McDonald was from, what country he was even
You knew
from.
he was from there. You just second guessed
It's a
yourself.
brain fart. I don't know.
Don't worry about that. Your brain's getting older.
Want to thank everybody for joining us over there in the YouTube chat and watching over there on our YouTube stream. Osvaldo's out there. Thank you for being here. Lori saying what's up, AAA. Joseph Canellis, I hope I'm saying that right, buddy, is going to be racing in this league in the next season. So welcome, Joe. Can't wait to see what you got for these vets out here on the track. This is definitely a fun league to watch and be a part of. And Lori Vaught sending that welcome message out there to Joe. So have fun watching tonight and take some notes on which guys you got to start looking out for out here. It's a very competitive league. They're all pretty good.
Yeah, that they are, and we're about to see just how good they are. It's a pace truck, peels off down another way into that Geico restart zone. We go for the first time here tonight. Green flag racing here at Iowa as they send it off down into turns 1 and 2 side by side. The 84 and the 784 up on that high side, getting a huge run coming out of the corner. That's going to open up the hole for the 6 Trevor Robertson to try to filter on past the 7 here as well. Going around that far outside lane. 89 in the 14 locked into a heated battle side by side. Same thing with the 55 and the 74 going side by side as the field continues to string itself on out here as, we already got our first couple of spinners. We got the 123 going around.
John Gallagher hit the inside wall. Hopefully he's not too hurt there where he has to use that fast repair. We'll see. Sounds like the 434 of Kevin Hunt may have been involved in that as well.
Well, it looks like, did Albert hit? Yeah, Albert hit him. That started with 99, America's driver. Just touched the 123. Turned him.
Jump up to our no lies chopper cam. Yeah, just barely tapping that rear quarter panel of the 123, which sends them down the racetrack. 23, Sean McDonald trying his best to check up in time. Not quite able to. Gets into the back end of the 123, which sends him on down and around. And like you said, hard into that inside wall. He goes for a little bit of a rough and tumble ride. 53, Jeremiah Burke also ends up going for a little bit of a spin here. Let's kind of see what happens with him as he was just trying to avoid the contact and down on the apron, ever so slippery, and he ends up getting all tilted around. But that will bring out our first caution of the evening, which means we have a moment to tell you exactly where the standings are currently at in these championships. So let's go ahead and tell everybody kind of what everything looks like right now. Going into last week, Jess Vaught was holding the lead. He is now on that cut line, very close with Larry Dickerson as they are trying to catch up to that 84 Josh Bittner. Jonathan Osborne, like I said, been really on a good streak here lately and picking up the win here last week. He's looking very nice up there, up at the top of that leaderboard. Timothy Pope, Dustin Eaton make up the other drivers who are currently in qualifying contention. But then like Larry Dickerson, Jess Vaught, Craig Goodenough all battling, trying to figure out a way to get some extra points here tonight to try to sneak up above that cut line where 4th place is. And Albert Anderson, he unfortunately kind of needs a miracle a little bit here tonight. Albert having a fantastic season here this season and getting that little bit of a freebie punch ticket into the playoffs. Unfortunately for him, not a road course regular participant, and had a road course here in these playoffs, and that cost him in the points positions a little bit here. But hey, you're never out of it until the math says you're out of it, and there's a possibility he's not out of it just yet.
I didn't think that our buddy Albert would be the first guy out there to be declining people for positions, but I mean, I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but Albert pushing it, trying to do everything he can to get back in it and get it out from underneath that cut line. But yeah, it's all or nothing here tonight. That's what you got to do. Edith Anderson out there pulling for Albert. Thank you for being here, Edith. Red Arnell pulling for Craig Goodenough in the 89 machine. Thank you for being here. Adam Strom, our buddy, sparing no expense. He said he's bringing a case of Milwaukee's Best down to the pit lane there, Adam. And of course, Adam Strom, we all been thinking about you, buddy, and praying for you and your family. You know, I know it's been real rough here on you here the last few days. So thanks for being here with us, and hope you're doing okay, man.
Yes, sir. Definitely prayers, but let's make it a 30 rack, Stromer. We got to split this thing. I mean,
hey, don't forget about us in the booth, man.
Yeah, we need a 30 rack, but we'll take the 24. We may have to get a couple extras, but yeah. Man, awesome. Glad you're here. Hope you can enjoy the night with us a little bit. We're going to have some fun.
Oh, that indeed we are, and always ready for fun. Is Rhett Arnell cheering on his good enough buddy there in the 89, and the ever so lovely Miss Edith Anderson. Hope you're enjoying being 29 and a half here as you just celebrated your birthday, and hope you had a wonderful weekend with that.
I saw the pictures from the surprise party. They look pretty awesome. Albert posted them on Facebook, so looked like she was pretty surprised.
Well, that's
I'm sure they had a good turnout. The cake was awesome.
I mean, is there ever a bad cake?
It was one of those cakes where they print the picture out on it or
Ooh.
something.
Oh, those are yes. I saw the pictures. They were great. I love to see families having a good time, especially that great family, man. They're just they stick together. They stick together and watch Albert do his thing here on Wednesday nights too. But yeah, sometimes there's a bad cake, Brown. I mean, have you ever made one out of a box and you cooked it too long? You know, those tend not to be as good.
As we get everybody all locked in and loaded, lights on the pace truck are off, which means we get ready to head on back to Green Flag Racing, where the 84 Josh Bittner is going to elect to start on the outside here. Once again, he's going to have his teammate, the 6 of Trevor Robertson, starting to his inside here. As the pace car gets down and out of the way, Green Flag Racing here once again. The 6 machine, I think, might like that bottom line on the restarts just a little bit more than the 84 does, but here he comes, building up that momentum down and around through turns 1 and 2. He's got that momentum. Is he going to be able to carry it on through 3 and 4? Oh, it's going to be pretty dang close. Even Steven, as those two teammates battle it out up here for those lead positions. 84 eventually will drive off. Looked like the 6 machine kind of backed out of it just a little bit. The 1 of David Fight trying to tuck into line behind that 55 Ricky Wittenberg and pick up a couple spots here himself and continue to move up this leaderboard as the 74 Zachary Hallinan battles with the 69 and the 81. 28 of George Rincon had a fantastic race here last week and even accredited quite a few of the drivers that he was having to kind of pass and unfortunately put a lap down. Was giving them a shout out, the ever so gentleman of Mr. George Rincon, recognizing everybody's efforts as he goes side by side with America's driver here in that 99 machine as he flies his way up through the field. Even the 14 or in 14th right now, that 29 of Dave Mayberry having a good battle with a teammate here in Kelly Keel.
Yeah, a little bobble from the 28 coming out of turn 2, but able to hold on to it. A little bit of 3 wide action there behind that group. Watching that with the Hardy's machine of the 33. On that cut line, of course, and trying to move up.
And
I'm watching Albert. He's just so fast. He's having a hard time getting around people, and I think that's part of the issue for him right now. He almost hit Cawthon a minute ago as well, so I think he's just faster.
It's just one of those tricky tracks where it is by definition a short track. However, races a little bit closer to that 1.5 mile style of racing where you kind of got to get that truck into position before the corners to really make your move and to make it stick. And Albert finally able to get that move to stick and steal up on that spot. But now he's got that 33 of Jesfot ever so hungry, trying to hunt his way back up after serving that EOL penalty here tonight. 01 of Kelly Keel going to battle with that 28 of George Rincon. And then pretty much everybody else just kind of staying single file. 123 John Gallagher looks like he's in the pits getting some manual damage all fixed up. That race truck after hitting that inside wall is probably feeling a little bit of damage.
Can you imagine a short track that runs almost 160 miles an hour going into turn 1? That's what you're seeing here tonight. A lot of close racing between the 01 and the 10. Opposite numbers. They're battling hard for that spot. That's the battle for 13th position, but they're bottlenecking up behind them too wide, a couple rows deep there.
Yeah, and America's driver Albert Anderson still trying to make moves up into the top 10. He's really moving. What if we have a green flag pit stop here? How would that work? It seemed like it'd be pretty tough at a track like this.
It is.
Alan, don't you think it's hard to get into especially because it's so hard racing off of turn 4 to get it down onto the pit lane? You think these drivers practice much of that?
I know they have the practice race on Mondays, and I'm sure they put in a whole bunch of work here this week to try to capitalize on whatever gains they can. But not only that, but if you qualified well up at the front, you actually at a little bit of a disadvantage here at Iowa, as your pit box is in the middle of the corner. and you gotta be careful and conscious of that. So not easy entrance, a not easy box, and a not easy exit either, as these drivers continue to make headway here at Iowa here tonight. So yeah, green flag pit stops definitely going to be a crucial factor in whether these drivers are going to succeed or not succeed here tonight.
Got it on camera there. The perfect pass by Kelly Keel of the 10. Just kind of kept after it there and ran a perfect line, perfect pass, no contact. We're seeing more of that throughout the field in behind them there. George McCone's trying to battle the 19 here. The 19 of Jack Dixon looking low here. Looks like he might pick this spot up. Can't get clear though there.
Nah, just getting a little tight coming out of turn number 4. We did see in practice turn number 4 as being a treacherous spot where even some of the drivers were saying, man, it felt good until it didn't, and it just snapped out from under them. They got to be careful with that and try to make sure they get smooth and on the throttle. But not only that, but if you're too wide like that, I mean, we're already 21 laps into this run. Again, lap times hovering around the 23, 24 second mark. Very quick laps being made at this just under a mile racetrack. That tire wear is going to be a big factor, especially if you're trying to make passes here towards the ends of these runs.
Kathy Anderson here joining Edith in supporting Team Albert. Thank you for being here. Red Arnell says, hey, can we check on the 000 car? They never seem to make it off the hauler. Of course, that's Lori Vaught, the league administrator, head umpire, referee extraordinaire, the one that has to look at all the tape the next day and decide who to penalize. Thank you for all that you do here, Lori. And I'm sure you wouldn't be that bad on the track. Just saying.
John Gallagher has manually disconnected. I think his engine blew on pit road, and I don't know if he had his fast repair checked or what happened, so he's done for the night.
Yes.
Looks like.
19, Jack Dixon gets up into the wall, does a little wall riding. Meanwhile, right behind him, you got the 92 and the 29. Klein and Mayberry going battling side by side. Two teammates that love to kind of jaw at each other just a little bit, and I'm sure their radio chatter's starting to light up just a little bit.
These drivers figured out how to get power down out of turn 4 during practice, I guess, because we haven't seen much of an issue here during the actual race. But during the practice session, it was so slick. It looked like a bunch of people were out there spitting on that thing. You get me? I mean, it was just they couldn't get any traction.
Yeah, it was real slick. I guess they've kind of figured it out here as we are 25 laps in, but what about when we start wearing these tires out? I think once these tires get super slick, you might start seeing that activity in 4 like we did in practice.
As we go 3 wide around the 53 of Jeremiah Burke, got the 16 and the 43 up above him. It quickly separates back down to 2 wide as got a little bit of a log jam here with that 29 of Mayberry and 92 of Klein as they were trying to figure things on out. 88 of Mike Adamson also trying to continue to figure this track out as the one of David Fight goes to battle here with the 33 of Just Vaught, continuing his charge up towards the front, now up into the top 10. 15 spots gained already by that 33 machine. He is definitely one hungry driver as the 84 Josh Bittner tries to balloon up that lead a little bit over his teammates of Trevor Robertson and Timothy Pope. Both Bittner and Pope looking to try to capitalize on some other drivers' misfortunes from last week and having to start in not ideal position here and having to fight their way on up.
Josh Bittner, as much as we've seen him race, this might not be a track where you think, man, I bet Josh Bittner would be great here, but I'll tell you why. This guy loves Pocono. Pocono's got some shallow, low banked turns. There's a lot of similarities between this little short track and the big giant triangle of Pocono. It's just, it's monitoring your grip level, changing up your line. I mean, it's no surprise to me that Josh Bittner's good here as he is at Pocono, and he's got the fastest lap of the race right now, the 23.23. So Josh Bittner out there wheeling this thing. and showing these guys, if you could drive a big track like Pocono, there's some similarities here.
As the 69 of the Milk Dud, Larry Dickerson, finds his way back up inside this top 10 a little bit here, trying to figure out a way to get around the one of David Fight. Dickerson being one of those drivers right there by that cut line, trying to take those couple extra steps forward to not be cut here tonight, as the 53 of Burke goes side by side with the 88 of Adamson. And a whole bunch of good racing action throughout this field, especially here kind of towards the tail end of it, as Dickerson continuing to battle with the one machine, and now the 6 Trevor Robertson having a battle with the 89 of Good Enough, and another orangutan team member, the 14 of Dustin with a Y.
Man, they're getting after it. After that little incident we had early, clean, clean, clean. I like to see what they're doing out here. Let's save that aggression for later. And now we're starting to see high line, low line stuff here, guys. I don't know if you're watching that, but people are getting to choose.
Yes.
Albert Anderson out there. This is Albert Anderson's pop out there saying, "Happy Juneteenth, everyone," and go get 'em, Albert. Of course, today, Day of Freedom today here, Juneteenth, now national holiday. Thank you for spending it with us here, AAA Broadcasting.
Yes, sir, he is. Man, still side by side between the 69 and the 1. This is not what the 69 had in mind when he thought he was going to move down low on the one machine to make the pass. Didn't think it was going to go for an extended period of time trying to make that pass stick here. As the 74 Zachary Hallinan also going side by side with the 10 of Andrew Cawthon, as everybody just doing their best to survive the opening stages here right now. Lap 35 of 177, a heck of a long way left to go. 01 Kelly Keel side by side with 53 Jeremiah Burke. Let's see here, John Curtis, Jack Dixon having a good battle between a couple Canadians here, going side by side. They got that 29 of Mayberry, and the battle between Uncle Dave and Kyle Vaught also underway, as they're only separated by a couple of tenths of a second right now.
Yeah, that's a good battle, and Greg Klein just passed those guys, and they're trying to get him back there. Maybe they can just climb the Klein, hit him and hurt him or something.
Give him a taste of his own medicine.
As Timothy Pope was able to take over that second spot from the 6-0 Trevor Robertson, and now he and Josh Bittner just enjoying some kind of open air freedom up here, up at the front, about second and 3/4 in front of everybody else, as the 99 of Anderson going side by side with the 1 of David Fight, trying to sneak his way on up into that top 10 as they come across the line. Looks like he was just able to get that front bumper across that timing line before him, but they're still kind of stuck in that side-by-side action. And this is where things, as Albert getting tight, drifts up the racetrack a little bit.
Fun battles to watch all over the track. Watching Vaught and the 43 go side by side here. And they're sneaking them up on the 19. This might go back 3 wide again. Oh, 43 got a little loose coming off the 4.
And gotta watch out for those slippery seams out there on this racetrack. Multiple grooves are available to these drivers. It's actually a quite wide track for its size, has plenty of lanes that people can elect to use, as the 74 Zachary Hallinan coming on down into pit road to start his green flag pit cycle here on lap number 40.
I think that'll start the trend here, and guys will start trickling down. Let's see.
Well, I think they have 5 sets of tires, so yeah, I think they're 4 wide in front of Dave Mayberry there. Ooh. That pack with Klein and those guys in front of Mayberry, they're really getting after it. Klein, Rincon, Adamson, and Kelly Keel. Look at that.
Yeah, fantastic battle indeed, as we're kind of approaching that pit window. I think I got a feeling these guys aren't probably going to push it too much past 50 to 55 here, Turner. I know kind of like fuel percentage at these shorter tracks is a little bit different than some of the longer tracks where we typically see about 30-35 laps. So things going a little bit of an extended distance here, but we're definitely coming up on some scheduled green flag pit stops here really quick.
Yeah, gotta be coming soon. And wonder what the truck feels like right now. John Curtis just drove it into the wall. I could tell, I was riding along with him, that they're starting to lose that grip, and so he just shot it in there a little too hard and kind of slid up the wall. That's what happens when you. Yeah, the abusing your tires, yes, and
that
changes.
right front, they've been leaning on the right front at them so hard that it just eventually it's not going to hold anymore, and that truck starts to slide up the track, starts pushing like a dump truck. Next thing you know, you're smacking that wall, that safer barrier.
Well,
You got nowhere to go when that happens. Go ahead, Brad.
how about that 55 of Ricky Wittenberg, who I think can sense that some of the guys in front of him may have burnt up their stuff here early, and he's trying to chase down and get around that 89 of Craig Goodenough and then catch back up to that 14 of Dustin Eaton to try to maybe steal a few points away from some of these playoff drivers here tonight.
One thing about it too, clean air is definitely your friend in these tracks where forward grip is so important. So yeah, if you've got nobody in front of you, you can go anywhere you want to on the track. You've got full downforce on your nose. You don't have anybody blocking air off your nose, and you can just get as much grip as you can there on your front tires. But these guys that get stuck behind somebody and they're trying to change their lineup or push it a little bit hard in a turn, they don't have that air pushing down on, increasing their grip level. So
Both David Fite and Dion Jones come on down into the pit lane to get their first stop of green flag pit stops here. It's the 55 and the 89 still remaining side by side. This is allowing the 81 of Jonathan Osborne to kind of catch back up and join this fight here as well. This is kind of where Mr. English, where Iowa's kind of starts to kind of differentiate itself from that 1.5 mile of racing to more of the short track racing, where you really got to make sure when you're going for a pass, it doesn't take a long time, because that's where you burn up that rubber, where you burn up that fuel, and eventually you might even lose that momentum that you had built up to try to get around the guy in front of you, and it's just costing you both a whole bunch of time.
yeah, once your tires get this worn, battling somebody side by side and really racing really hard for position, yeah, you're going to burn your stuff up real quick. So I'm concerned too about the blending we're going to start seeing here very soon, as the guys that are pitting now are going to be coming out of the pits with really quick race trucks, brand new tires, and some other guys trying to get all that fuel mileage that they can out there are going to be racing on some really worn out rubber. Yahtzee.
Right, Mike Adamson just claimed his pit stop, Brown, so I think we're going to start seeing him. This is interesting. Look at that. Dipped right down in there. Wonder if he's going to get a penalty.
You got the 33 of Jess Vaught down on pit road here, as well as that silent assassin of Mike Adamson. Mike Everidge making his way on down into pit road here, as well as the 6 of Trevor Robertson making his way on down into pit road. Been seeing a couple different ways how to make that little bit of a tight turn entry. Seeing a lot of people kind of maybe check it up in turns 3 and 4 a little bit more and hit that apron early to make sure that they're woed up in time, as we got a big chunk of the field now coming on down in. And Trevor Robertson, Dave Mayberry, Sean McDonald, Kyle Vaught, Jack Dixon, and Kelly Keel all making some pit stops here. Same thing with that 7 of Timothy Pope. Ricky Wittenberg staying out in the front right now of the 81 of Jonathan Osborne, with that 84 of Josh Bittner, and the 14 of Dustin with a Y still currently driving around and putting in laps, really pushing this run as far as they can, as here they come, 84 of Bittner down onto pit road, followed by that 14.
Yeah, so far no penalties or anything. They're handling the green flag pit stops just fine. I guess they're giving each other a little bit of space and just coming on down perfectly.
Ooh, Greg Dobson has a little bit of a problem there coming out of turn number 4. As, man, my lifetime thing just goes a little crazy. Let's go ahead and kind of watch what happened here. Oh, he got a little loose. Fresh tires, got to be careful of that. They're now kind of used to maybe these things tightening on up. Gets a little loose coming out of turn number 4 and straight into that kind of almost like a tri-oval section. It's not a front straightaway. It's got a little bit of a curve to it. Ends up going down through the grass. Thankfully, plenty of room and a little bit of an extra collection area down there before the pit wall there kind of comes into play. It's 55 Ricky Wittenberg now coming on down into pit lane. He's going to, next season, would get a bonus point for leading the lap. But 69 Larry Dickerson now taking over the lead, yet to hit his pit box. Same thing with the 43 of John Curtis, but John Curtis last pitted back on lap number 6.
16 really sideways as he was slowing down to try to get down onto the pit lane. Kevin Hunt, black flag for speeding in the 434.
He's the first one. They've had some clean entries down here, and it's been crazy that they're doing it so well. These guys are just good. I mean, it amazes me sometimes of what they can do, because I would have thought that would have just been a calamity as on a green flag run, but they all made it work pretty much.
And we've seen actual NASCAR drivers on the iRacing service here where these guys race, and they don't do it as well as the guys in VRL. Sorry, but they don't.
No, but I mean, they
put
can,
in and all the racing they do together.
Well, they can probably drive a real car maybe better. But there is a skill to this simulation. It's not a video game. Everybody knows that. This is a sim, and it simulates to a really high standard of NASCAR. It's pretty much, a lot of guys use this just to get familiar with tracks and stuff in NASCAR. So
absolutely. Ooh, contact between the 4 and the 29.
Uh-oh.
Almost ended up in a wreck.
Thanks.
Interesting.
Thankfully, both drivers able to keep their noses pointed in the correct direction. Here's the 29 of Dave Mayberry's got the teammate of the 01, Kelly Keel, sitting right there on his back bumper. Jack Dixon, Deion Jones, and Sean McDonald all kind of tucked up into a tight little line right now. Meanwhile, speaking of a tight little line, you got the 33 of GS Vaught hanging around up here in 4th, making up a ton of spots after a good pit stop down there. 14 of Dustin with a Y, hanging right behind him with the 89 of Craig Goodenough in the 74 of Zachary Hallinan. With the 10 of Andrew Cawthon going right back to battle here with the 55 Ricky Wittenberg, but Wittenberg with those fresh tires going to try to drive away from that 10 machine.
You see the 43 there, English? The 43, John Curtis, lost it on 4 on the last lap. Mowed the grass, made his way out of it, no caution, no harm, no foul. But he lost a lot of spots there.
I didn't see it, but I'll go back and watch the little replay there.
It was kind of just on his own, out of 4 type of stuff we were seeing.
Kind of cold tires type of situation that we've seen before, yeah. I tell you what, the 434, that speeding penalty really killed Kevin Hunt there, as had to come back down and serve that. Now being scored 4 laps down, but it's not over yet, Kevin. Hope you hang in there and make up some attrition positions, and there's a lot of racing left to go here in this 177 lap feature.
And just like the 19 Jack the Ripper Dixon right now, he wants to go racing, but he can't go anywhere with it, as the 29 and the 01 are still kind of stuck side by side right in front of him as they come back down across the line here once again, as that 14 machine, he's looking pretty quick. He's also using that 085 of Greg Dobson, the birthday boy, here tonight. Maybe has a little bit of a rolling roadblock there, trying to check up that 33 machine a little bit into the corner and make use of that time in there.
Yes, indeed. Osvaldo Mejia joining us over there in the YouTube chat, saying, "Let's go number 33." So Jess Vaught's got some fans out there. Loud.
We're
crowd.
fans.
The Hardy's machine, he's doing what he can out there.
He's up 19 spots, so that's good.
How many championships has he won?
I think it's
Adam?
2 times. He has it on his little nameplate or whatever.
Oh
He's
yeah,
got
on the on
two-time,
Discord.
two-time champ, but he's won a lot of races, and he just seems like he's
Absolutely.
good almost everywhere. He puts in a lot of the man hours. He's in the beat laboratory,
Beat laboratory.
doing what he's supposed to be doing. Man.
Yeah, that he is, but unfortunately having to serve that penalty here tonight kind of costed him a little bit, but has done a fantastic job thus far, moving up 19 spots up into the top 5 right now. But man, oh man, is it a ain't dead yet show or what, as Robertson, Bittner, and Pope currently lead up there in that top 3 here tonight. We've seen the ain't dead yet when they get on a roll, man, they can get all their drivers up either onto that podium. We've seen it a couple of times, but not only that, but a couple of times we've seen them get pretty much every single one of their drivers inside of that top 5. So looking like one of those racetracks here tonight, because I mean, even Ricky Wittenberg right now, he's in 8th, having a good battle with the 74 Zachary Hallinan, but we've seen him moving up the track as everybody, the tires kind of started to fall off a little bit, and he was able to make up a few extra, not quite freebie positions. He had to race his way there, but they kind of came back to him. Oh, please.
Ain't dead yet. They're always in contention for a win, if not a championship. So you can never take your eye off of those guys. They're always going to be up there threatening you.
Well, threatening like physically, or just like threatening
You
to
know what I?
pass you?
Come on, Turner. I thought we were on the same wavelength when we both said the the beat laboratory thing. You know, I thought he's the Tua to my Hawk almost. You know, we were on the same wavelength there for a while, and now I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Oh, it's like man, it's like we're rolling snake eyes here in Waco tonight. Look, and guess what? Next weekend I am going to be rolling snake eyes in Waco a little bit, guys. Just so you know, I am going to go to Papa Joe's. I got to see my old people. See Texas history too. But
Go sit at the table again. You know where.
Oh yeah, I love sitting where Billy Joe shot. You know, said the altercation started at the table, and then it went out into the parking lot, and that's where he shot him in the face, between the mother and the other.
That's what he said.
Yeah, he didn't use the other as the term, but anyway, good racing tonight, Brown. I was super impressed. I don't know, I keep saying that, but man, we were really concerned watching that practice.
Oh yeah,
Four was going to get these guys, and it really hasn't yet.
And man, it is a night and day difference. I mean, especially one of the drivers kind of joined us in a chat for a little bit there while practice was going on. It's like, hey guys, this one might be a long run. A lot of people out here struggling coming out of turn number 4, seeing a lot of spins down through, down and across the line through that grass. But man, other than a couple, man, I don't know if these drivers kind of recognize that and have adjusted to it on the fly and are just kind of willing to maybe be a little bit more patient here as the run continues to run along here, as Bittner able to retake that lead over that 6 of Trevor Robertson. It was 3 wide there for a little bit, as the 82 of Mike Everidge was also kind of in frame. As man, yeah, these guys definitely figuring things on out here from Iowa here tonight, and it's been a lovely race. Battles all over the racetrack, like the 1 and the 0 in the 1-0. 10 Andrew Cawthon having a good little battle here behind the 74 Zachary Hallinan.
Yeah, and as the sun went down, the track temp cooled down. We're at 80 degrees right now, providing as much grip as 80 degrees can give you out there at 160, 150 miles an hour. So, yeah, cooling temps definitely helping out. Tires are wearing the track in pretty good. You see the black area where the rubber's getting laid down there in the turns. Got to watch that big old stack of marbles, though, up there by the wall. You can see it plain as day on the camera when we get those pans right around the entry of the turns.
Yeah, I think NASCAR last weekend when they actually ran this race, they had several cautions, and they'd go use those big blow machines or whatever those things are called. They'd get rid of a lot of those marbles, try to clean it a little bit. Yeah.
Oof, man, as we're going 3 wide, 434 down low. 1 stuck in the middle with the 74 up against that outside wall. He's been stuck up there for quite a while, picking up some of those dreaded marbles on that right-hand side of the vehicle. And it's definitely been costing him some track time and position out there as everything continues to cycle on around here. As the 81 of Jonathan Osborne been doing a great job trying to hunt down that 33 of Jess Vaught. He's got the 4 of Dion Jones kind of riding that back bumper of his as we're getting pretty close to that halfway point here.
Oh, Yahtzee.
Analea Tovar joining us out there in the YouTube chat. Some laugh emojis out there. She must have heard something that she understood or recognized from very recent pop culture memeology. And Chan the Man joining us saying, "Let's go Team Goodweiser." Thank you for being here, Chan. We miss your face today. We miss your bearded face on the camera, on the driver cam. Talk about you right now. Not in the rate.
Yeah, getting
Getting a race, Chan.
trying to get into that race here as things are going a little crazy on my end here. Give me a second.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, a little bit of 3 wide action here. Albert Anderson right in the middle. David Fight on the outside. 69 of Dickerson. Here comes the crossover from Albert Anderson, looking at the low line as they come through the tri-oval. He might have the advantage here going into turn 1. Gets pinched low by Dickerson. Not allowed to make that position. Not allowed to clear him there. Folger's machine doing all he can against that red, wet, and blue machine of Dickerson. Dickerson scrapes the wall a little bit. You see that there,
I
Brian?
did. He's trying to run that high line, maybe save a little bit of those tires. And those are 2 teammates. Both of them are trying to fight
Yeah, they are.
to keep moving on in these playoffs. So, I mean, it's probably one of those things where, man, you're a teammate until you ain't one, and then they're trying to figure things out. But thankfully, they're able to find a little bit of space and some separation now as both drivers fighting for their life to try to make it up through that next cut here. As didn't realize that sound was on. As they continue to try to make their headway here at the halfway point in Iowa, having a pretty dang good run out there. Not a good run for the 23 Sean McDonald, as he does throw it up on the hauler for the evening. I guess he's been maybe a little under the weather, got some allergies. I know the heat's been a little bit crazy over there, and he was starting to get droopy-eyed watching everybody race around him, and he's just gonna look forward to sending it on up to New Hampshire next week.
Yeah, I think he's West Side Canada, isn't he? I mean, around Vancouver area, I think they're experiencing some crazy allergies and stuff this time of year as well.
Is that where the Bears are?
The Bears are everywhere. The Bears are freaking everywhere, son.
They're fast.
They are fast. They can outrun you. I know that.
Yeah,
I
an
mean,
8-year-old could outrun me at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't think either of us are outrunning a bear anytime soon.
I bet they can't outrun a judge.
Brown's 7 foot tall, so I mean, I think he just takes a couple steps and he's in the clear.
Well, my problem is, right, because bears are in the woods. If I'm running through the woods, I'm going to get hit by every single branch that you guys are
That's
able to
true.
duck under, so.
The ugly tree is going to smack you in the face some more, and we don't need that, you know?
Well, you put the judge in your pocket, and, you know, if
You and your judge, you haven't even... have you taken that thing to the range yet?
No, I don't need to. I've shot them.
gonna be
I've shot
fun.
judges before.
Oh, have you shot him?
Yeah, but it's a good defense weapon.
Well, as we're...
You gotta be right in somebody's face. Oh, go ahead, buddy.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was just gonna say, you gotta be right in somebody's face from one of those snub nose, you know.
If it's a
Do
bear,
Well, that's a
Or-
big target. Man, that's true.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brown. enough of the silliness.
Well, as always, right around the halfway point, we like to start to delve into one of our, especially Mr. Turner's favorite segments, as two teammates of the 7 and the 6 go fighting side by side with some fun facts coming into this race here at Iowa. Always put together by the wonderful Miss Lori Vaught, doing some great work behind the scenes to gather us up some fantastic information. So, as we have stated, it is high stakes for making the Final Four playoff race coming up here next week for these drivers. We've been kind of leaning on that here throughout the race about drivers trying to make it up past that cut line and continue to have their hopes alive here, especially there in those positions from 3rd through 6th. Very, very tight positions. We'll go ahead and check back in those points here in just a little bit. And it's really coming on down to who will finish in front of the other and by how many positions. That's what's really going to make a whole chunk of the differences here tonight. Also, got to watch out for those penalties, because if you get an EOL penalty, that's the other thing that cost Jess Vaught here. Not just the unfortunate thing that he wasn't able to qualify and start from the end of the field. He had a 5 penalty point difference taken away from his point total, which kind of shoved him down that leaderboard there just a little bit, as the 55 and the 89 start to go battling side by side. Starting to see some more green flag pit stops up underway, so everybody got something on their mind here tonight. There are also 6 potential first-time champions among the 8 drivers that are currently still in the playoffs. So there's a possibility that a good possibility we're going to see our first-time champion here this season. So that's just another fantastic precedent that the VRL always sets, is that they highly like the parity in the league, and how, man, some nights it just may not feel your night, and it may feel like that for 3/4 of the season, but man, anyone can pick up some big points and some big wins throughout this season, as the 10 and the 69 go battling side by side. And Turner, this one I think will really get your blood pumping there, your heart racing, that this year the season champion will receive a $1 million bonus and a lifetime membership to the VRL.
What?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right.
You sound like Ozzy Osbourne in that video.
Who?
That interview video.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, what?
Good
What
evening,
million?
Ozzy.
Oh, that's strange. So next year they get their, or next season they'll get a free entry.
Oh, somebody slid sideways into the pits there.
Didn't see who it was.
Oh, looked like it might have been the 01 Achille Keel, but of course, just kidding about that. It was just completely made up and BS and all that. The VRL would never give anyone a lifetime membership.
Yeah. You
Or $1 million. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think so, because they want to keep you on your toes. If you're not holding up your end of the bargain for this league, you're going to be out of here. You know?
So
That's why
I
everybody
can't wait
works
to
so
see what
hard
the
here.
dues would look like if they're giving away $1 million. What would the dues be? They'd be in way here. Jess Vaught, we just talked about 21 spots currently in 3rd position. Yep, more pit stops coming. Here comes Kevin. Here comes the 77 of Jacob Young.
also seeing the 6, the 84, the 92, 82, and the 77 all making their green flag pit stops. Not going to make it from here to the end tonight. Just something to keep an eye on. We will have to see at least one more round of pit stops eventually before we close this thing on out, as Jess Vaught makes his way on down into pit road, having a wonderful time out there, making up a whole bunch of positions. It's the 55 Ricky Wittenberg holds on to the 4th place spot right now, as the 7 of Timothy Pope leads this race currently.
he was your pole sitter, I believe. Yeah, Tim Pope was your pole sitter here tonight. So
He's
he
spitting
is
in
just
right
announced that he is coming down in the 7 machine.
Yep.
Sweet. Watch as the 7 kind of does that middle of turns 3 and 4, hit the apron, goes really slow to make sure he doesn't incur that penalty that we've already seen a driver take that really cost them a whole bunch of time. Jack Dixon also making his way on down onto pit road, so just got to be careful with that.
Guys learned that the cold tire lesson from the first pit stop that they had, that once you get back out there on the track, give it a few laps before you start pushing it. You got to build some pressure and some grip back in those tires. The track continues to cool. Looks like 78.8 degrees out there on the track surface.
That's perfect for racing.
Not going to help you that much if you don't have your pressure in there yet, you know.
I think that's where the trickiness here of the of these green flag pit stops is. I mean, these guys are doing about 50 laps per a run, and really getting used to those older tires. Maybe feeling that the truck is all tightened up and all that kind of stuff. So you got to be careful on those cold, fresh set of tires. Yeah, they might have some grip, but for the first couple laps, that's when we might see some incidents as the 14 of Dustin Eaton comes on down into pit road. 81 Jonathan Osborne makes his way on into the pits to hit his pit box here.
So with 5 sets of tires, they're going to have more sets of tires than pretty much anywhere else. And, you know, usually, you know, we see them come down for fuel more than they come down for tires. Well, this time they're going to have probably banked another set of tires, at least, maybe 2, that they can come by and get if we get some late race shenanigans and cautions. Strategy is going to be on everyone's mind. The anxiety is going to build. Albert Anderson out there saying that Albert Anderson pops in. This is simulation or not. Cut line anxiety is definitely a real thing, and especially those drivers that maybe didn't think their strategies through and stuff. The anxiety is going to be at the max here tonight as they try to stay in this playoff series.
Oh yeah, it's nerve-wracking for sure at this point in the race. It's going to get even more nerve-wracking as we go along here for the guys close to the cut.
And that they do as the 55 of Wittenberg comes on down into pit lane. 43 of John Curtis does dive down, as well as that completes the cycle here for pit cycle number 2. One more remaining here with about 67 laps left, give or take a couple. I don't know how to count without using all my fingers and toes, and so it's
Take your shoes off.
gets a little difficult there. But man, some really fantastic racing here tonight, especially from these drivers that were maybe struggling, like we said, during that practice to really pick up the pace here tonight and really race this thing on out under the green flag. Love these long green flag laps as we're 3 wide. 82, 085, 69 coming out of turn number 2. They were able to get through everything a-okay.
Yeah, well, we were watching practice and we saw everybody spinning coming out of turn 4, and it was just, if you had your camera focused on crashes, it was just constantly moving. And I thought, oh crap, this is going to be one of those, you know, or but pleasantly surprised as they were just messing around under practice trying to run the best lap that they could. And man, this race has been awesome here at Iowa.
It's the 69. Larry Dickerson comes on down into pit road. Also like to remind everybody, if you haven't done so already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you get alerted every single time that we go live and post any announcements, that you get alerted to it. And if you enjoy any of the action, hit that thumbs up button so we can continue to grow this community. That, man, English, it just seems like yesterday that we were checking where we were at on the subscriber point, and we were somewhere like mid 500s. Man, we're 8 shy of 600 right now.
remember not too long ago, I was looking at like, we got 250 subscribers. This is ridiculous. Now we're almost to 600.
I'm not saying anything until we get monetized. We have to get 1,000 to get monetized. That means we can bring you more stuff and make money off of everything. Like probably 30 cents a race or something cool. So keep growing the AAA broadcasting fun. But hit the like and subscribe.
Something huge, yeah. 30.
We're gonna be big time.
40 cents.
We're gonna have YouTube
love that.
plaques on our walls someday, right, Brad?
Oh, that would be cool.
That's what we're hoping for.
I'm gonna make one out of wood and just fake it.
No, there's our metal. So can't really. You spray paint it like silver, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Make us one. At least we can pretend.
Cheating chrome is what we used to call it.
Yeah.
Spray painted silver. Yeah, I got you.
That would be pretty good. As the 84 Josh Bittner currently leads here at Iowa, up about a half second over his teammate, the 6 Trevor Robertson, with the 7 of Timothy Pope just right there behind them. Jess Vaught with those pit strategy continuing to kind of pay off for him here, is now back up into 4th, but he's got the 14 of Dustin with a Y hanging off that back bumper, and then it's a good solid almost 3 seconds back to the 89 of Craig Goodenough and the 81 of Jonathan Osborne, as Dave Mayberry returns back down onto pit road again. Just a I think just a smidge too soon there for Uncle Dave. He's still got to probably do a splash and go there to make it to the end. It's going to be a tough task indeed, as we're just having a wonderful time out here tonight.
See, Analea Tovar says, hey, here's a random thought. Wouldn't it be cool if the broadcast was interactive and you could like choose which driver to watch? Like click on the camera? Yeah. That would be really neat. That would be kind of a cool thing. I wish the technology was out there. And if it is, I wish it was affordable.
Yeah, it may be out there, but we can't.
It might be.
Yeah.
But I will say the technology is out there, as we got a good
Is it really?
playoff contention battle here between the 14 and the 33. 14 making his way on by to sneak his way back up into just shy of a podium spot there in 4th. As Zachary Hallinan, man, he's been in a battle all race long with everybody out here on this racetrack. 92 now slipping on by. He's got the 99 of America's driver Albert Anderson trying to sneak up past that back bumper. So it's just something to watch out for. But it is something I've actually been looking at. Unfortunately, it's a little out of the price scope right now to kind of get up and do, but. Definitely, it is definitely under the suggested that we do want to do kind of hit points.
You know what would solve that? If the viewers paid what does iRacing cost? $9.99 a month or something like that to go on there and just spectate. You could still listen to the broadcast that we do in the background, but you could jump into any truck you wanted and watch them in a spectator session. That's one way to do it.
Like get viewers away from us?
No,
God,
they can still watch and listen, but they could do like I have right now. I'm watching the broadcast on one screen, and I'm watching the iRacing on the other screen.
I was close there with the 99 of Albert Anderson, 92 of Greg Klein, and the 085 kind of stuck up against that outside wall, getting a little squiggly wiggly with the 92 there as well. And I thought for sure we were going to see a little bit of an incident there, but everybody gathering their thoughts and gathering their trucks back up, and really no harm, no foul here as the 6 and the 7 return to a little bit of a battle here. But how about this? Talking about the 6 of Trevor Robertson doing a fantastic job here tonight for Ain't Dead Yet, and running up here inside this podium pretty much all race long. Just some more little fun facts. Our third ever VRL broadcast was the first official, their first official start to season racing, because our first couple of races were recruiting races, which were some of the best recruiting races we have ever seen, by the way. It is very, very rare that you see for the first one, a caution-free flag-to-flag race at Auto Club, let alone a recruiting race. And then, man, I forget what the second race was, but man, that
Vegas or Michigan, I can't remember.
Oh yeah, and that one only had what, one caution in it too. It was
Something like that.
another like crazy clean race. That was fantastic. But Trevor Robertson won the inaugural race here for the VRL way back on season number 1.
He picked up a season championship at one of those.
And that too.
Early seasons.
Yeah, that was the race. I think we almost got us fired when I used to really go off the rails a lot.
Probably.
But I
Said a
toned
bad
it back.
word or something. Yeah.
No, I just said a couple of things. It was nothing crazy, but I dialed it back. I figured it out. So, if you want to see my this is PG. If you want to see PG-13, we also do other stuff sometimes. So
Yeah.
I get a little crazier on those.
Just
But these guys are racing so good, there's no need to talk about aliens and conspiracy theories right now. This is really
Right.
yeah,
a happening race.
like a teammate battle for the lead with the 84 and the 7 going side by side. They've got the 74 Zachary Helen, and I think he recognized what was going on right there behind him. He's just going to tuck on down to the apron. Actually, he's going really slow down there on the apron. I don't know if he's maybe trying to come on down into pit road, or if he just saw the traffic coming up and was trying to stay out of the way. But the date of that very first race of the very first official season, the 15th in 2021 of September.
Was it really?
Yep. There were
God.
13 OG drivers in that race. Those are the drivers that have been sticking with it for... we're going up onto season 9 now, which is absolutely insane, especially with the car counts just continuing to grow. I mean, I don't think there's been a season where the VRL hasn't had a wait list yet.
Yeah. I think we're going to have some new drivers next season already chiming in earlier. That'll be fun.
Yeah, they love it when they have their full fields here for the VRL. As 784 and the 6 make up your current podium positions, with the 14 and the 33 making up the top 5. 81 of Jonathan Osborne trying to catch back up to that 33 of Jess Vaught. 89 of Craig Goodenough doing the same thing. 53 Jeremiah Burke, always a playoff contender, unfortunately not making the cut here this season. Had a little too many cheer dad duties he had to attend to, but was able to at least get a few races in, trying to maybe play a little spoiler here tonight, steal some points away from some of these drivers. 55, Ricky Wittenberg, down a position on the day thus far, but man, he has been steady Eddie here tonight, just letting the track come to him. And then the 10 of Andrew Cawthon, rounding out your current top 10 here at Iowa, with Josh Bittner feeling some pressure from that 6 machine right now.
I don't know if you guys mentioned it when I stepped away about Taylor Provax being over there in the chat here tonight, pulling for the 33 and the 16. Always appreciate Taylor being over there.
Laura says Pope won season 1 championship, but not.
Trevor won like season 2 or 3 or something. He was very early in winning a championship.
Then he left for a little bit, and now he's back.
Yeah.
So we take a ride here with the mustache man, Mr. Jacob Young, letting the 29 of Dave Maybury go, battling kind of here in the back of the pack, but hey, battling is battling no matter where you are out on the racetrack. Always happy to have Jacob Young joining us. Of course, we also have to talk about the man who is not just okay, he is good enough. Craig Goodenough in the 89 machine right now, riding in 7th, joining us with the driver cam as well. Looking very serious out there, trying to make up some ground. As catching up to the some lap traffic here with the 4 of Dion Jones, and hard on the brakes, ends up almost breaking loose as the 4 up against the outside fence. Ooh, goodness gracious. And then coming on down into the pits, we have our good buddy and the birthday boy Oh, 85, Mr. Greg Dobson. Always love having Greg out here racing. Just a spectacular guy. Always just a pleasant to be around. The one thing he doesn't like to do is get in people's way. He understands his position out there on the track. He's always courteous, letting people around. So just a big happy birthday to our one of our Canadian buddies.
A Canadian and him just being courteous and apologizing and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, very competitive though. It's the 085. I see him in my rearview mirror. I know he's coming for me, but you mentioned the two drivers we saw on the driver cam there. Both drivers opting to race with gloves. A lot of the guys that are racing in iRacing opt to use driver gloves. It really does decrease fatigue and help with grip on the wheel and keeps guys from getting blisters and stuff. So, I mean, these races can be really long and really taxing on your shoulders, elbows, wrists, hands, and your nerves especially.
Albert is getting like run over right now. He must be on older tires. These guys are just running past him, and I guess I don't know if he's just settling in on the new tires, but now looks like he's finding a groove. So 085 Greg Dobson, it's his birthday, you said, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Do we do that, celebrate that in the metric system, or do we do it in the traditional freedom?
It's the same.
Well, it's numbers.
Damn it, Turner! It's
different.
Days
It's
and
numbers.
Weeks and months are the same. No,
Oh, they
it's
use
the same.
they use the metric on that.
Oh my god! No, there's no metric years, months, days, weeks. It's all the same.
Oh goodness, Kelly.
Unless you live in China, when you have Chinese New Year, that's different.
Yeah, that confuses me. I don't understand that. Honestly, I think we're living in the year like 7,000, really. But
This is the Gregorian calendar or whatever.
yeah, there's been some lies. There's been some lies. We missed a couple of things in history. Albert's in the wall.
Oh,
And Klein, you got Klein.
Klein Kleined him?
Yeah, Klein Albert.
Oh,
Albert
he
Klein
might
Klein.
get it back because Albert, he's been known to give it back sometimes in the same race when he gets it, and he's right on Klein's tailgate. Here he comes.
Well, Bittner's
Dun,
behind
dun,
him in
dun,
second
dun,
place,
dun,
so
dun, dun.
you gotta be careful.
Jaws music. We gotta have the Jaws music up on cue next time. They're
Greg's
around.
pitting. Klein is pitting right now, so
Okay.
that's safe.
Yeah,
So is
Bittner's
Bittner.
right behind him.
as we're going into the money stop here for the VRL in this race here at Iowa. The final stop for these drivers to make it all the way to the end. The 14 of Dustin with a Y hitting his pit box, as well as the 89 of Good Enough, Klein, Burke, and Curtis gonna make their way on down onto pit road, with the 7 of Timothy Pope leading the way, with the 6 of Trevor Robertson, Jess Vaught, Jonathan Osborne. Actually, Jess Vaught now making his way on down into the pits here as well. Jonathan Osborne going to steal that third place spot away for the time being, as these drivers make their way on down and around into the pits. Let's go ahead and tell everybody once again, kind of what the point situation is here tonight, and just again why everything is so very, very close. Osborne, Pope, Eaton, and Josh Bittner all above that cut line, but it's a very, very close. I mean, we're talking, what is it, 4 points? 4 points you're in, 4 points you're out kind of situation. Larry Dickerson and Jess Vaught. So Jess Vaught, he needs to finish in front of Larry Dickerson, and Dickerson, as we got a caution.
What happened there to
right
bring the
there?
yellow out? My camera
Nothing.
didn't move.
Mine didn't either. And I was focused on crashes.
Looked like Jeremiah Burke having a little bit of a incident down there coming out of turn number 4, and oh boy, does this throw a wrench into all of the action out here, as coming out of turn number 4 with some of those fresh tires, just down onto the grass. Very surprised, actually. iRacing threw the caution there for that.
Yeah, we saw one of those earlier and it didn't throw a caution. That wasn't a bad deal. Go ahead,
53,
English.
he was upset on the radio. He says, well, yeah, I spun, but then saved it and came back around on the track. Everything was good. He was mad that a caution came out. Yeah, he was out of the way. I sometimes when iRacing throws that I don't really understand. And Albert Anderson's pop out there saying, "Don't worry, Albert. Payback can sometimes be a you know what." So, not instigating anything at all, but watch your back, Klein. Watch your tailgate.
As
Is
getting
this only the second caution?
yeah, this is caution number 2.
Jeez.
That's I mean, it doesn't get much longer than that for a green flag run.
That was awesome.
Goodness. Timothy Pope, Larry Dickerson, and Jonathan Osborne all. Correction there. Larry Dickerson not coming on down into pit road, and a whole bunch of people have been kind of trapped that one lap down. They're gonna try to make it up here and get that wave around from the pace truck. We'll have to see and kind of play things on out, but oh boy. The late cautions throwing a wrench into the mix here tonight as everybody's going to get all grouped back on up together once again once we get ready to head on back to this restart.
Intensity. I think it's ramping up there, Turner, as we kind of close in on the end of this deal. Less than 30 laps to go and a cut line race. Yeah. I think we're in for some fireworks here towards the end. What do you think?
Yeah. I think there's going to be somebody that's ready to make that move, ready to push the envelope a little bit. We've only had 2 cautions, and this last one really shouldn't have been a caution, but
yeah,
I tend to like it just where we're at in the race to re-rack it. And, yeah. Change some things. And I'm really happy with what these guys have done tonight here. Really impressed. I was concerned. We have a pre-race meeting all the time. Half of the time we're just talking about nonsense, but we do talk about the race. And I think all of us were a little concerned. It was a long race, and we thought we may see potential. It's potential at this track for a lot of cautions, and it proved us wrong on that one.
We'll see what happens here coming down the stretch if we do get that breeding caution situation.
But yeah, just again, kind of looking back at those points that we had really seen here tonight, going into the final cuts. Jess Vaught, again, leading coming into round number 2. Unfortunately, not getting the result he wanted last week at Sonoma. And getting penalized there really costing him here tonight, as he has to finish not only in front of Josh Bittner, but in front of Larry Dickerson, who are up the road from him here. And he has to finish in front of them by at least a few. But, man, the way that Josh Bittner's been running here tonight, that's going to be a very difficult task.
That's going to be a tall order as we see some wave rounds happening here as we prepare for the one to go. Thank you, Lori, as always, for your sweet words out there. We sure appreciate you and all the work you put in here. This awesome league. Kevin Hunt with a black flag in that Richard Petty-themed 434 machine, as we're going to delay the green one more lap to get everybody racked up here. And also, welcome to Joe Canellis. He's going to be racing here very soon. Saying really nice, clean race. Awesome job on the call, guys. Thank you very much, brother. We appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you race with these guys. What do you got for them? Where are you from? Let
us know.
Let us know a little bit about yourself over there in the chat, buddy. While we're under caution here,
especially if we're saying your name wrong, because we've had a couple times where we've been saying someone's name wrong for a few seasons, and then it's just like, oh no, it's actually this.
We called George Jorge for a long time. That was pretty crazy. He was like, "No, man, it's just George. Starts with a J, Like, I'm not Jorge, I'm George."
That was you.
That was all me.
But it was.
Oh no, it was me too.
Yeah. It does spell it like that, but You just gotta ask sometimes. But
Well, the good thing with Italian names too is they're said exactly how they're spelled. So if you ever meet an Italian person and look at their last name, it's just say it like is that exactly like it's spelled is how it's said every time, you know. So
they're
I don't
having a
know.
hard time re-racking here, guys. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, so especially with all the wave rounds, and I mean, we've only got 8 trucks on the lead lap here as well, so it's a matter of getting everything all lined up. We're almost gonna be lapping around everybody all single file because of all the wave rounds that happened. It's a very long train on that bottom row. So definitely look for some big moves here on the upcoming restart, as we're going to have the 81 of Jonathan Osborne and the 7 of Timothy Pope starting side by side. 55 Ricky Wittenberg and the 6 of Trevor Robertson side by side right behind them, and then it's single file out from there on for the 14 of Eaton, 84 of Bittner, 33 of Just Fought, 69 Larry Dickerson, 89 Craig Goodenough, 53 Jeremiah Burke, making up your current top 10. Again, both 89 of Goodenough and 53 of Jeremiah Burke. One lap down, so definitely keep your eye on that one, as here we go, pace car coming on down and in, back to the green flag we go. Here we go, 23 laps remaining here from Iowa as the 81 and the 7 fire things up once again side by side. 81, though, putting the hammer down on the bottom row, able to hold on to that number 1 spot. 55, Ricky Wittenberg, able to get some free and open air. He's got the 89 of Craig Goodenough fighting his way up, trying to get the lucky dog spot, which he currently has. As we got some issues there as the 43 goes.
John Curtis spinning in the grass.
Yeah, John Curtis had an issue. We also saw an issue from Kyle Vaught as he was having a little bit of a topsy-turvy run there on this restart, but still green flag running here. 22 laps now left remaining. Side-by-side action here for the 99 of America's driver Albert Anderson with the 88 of Mike Adamson and the 28 of the ever-so-said George Rincon. Osborne setting the fastest lap of the race, a 23.18. Absolutely smoking it out there, but it's not going to be enough to drive away from that 7 of Pope, who's been doing a fantastic job here tonight, keeping the pace up to speed here. 55, Ricky Wittenberg trying to play spoiler.
Big wreck on the front stretch. Yellow's out. Albert Anderson in it. So was the 29 of Goodenough. Ooh, baby. That's a shakeup.
Albert slid up right in front of Rincon. Just the observation from the start.
Oh, yeah, just sliding up just a little bit. Again, a lot of these guys on somewhat fresher tires. Got to be conscious of that as we go ahead and go look at this replay here from the No Lies chopper camera. Slides up in front of the 28 there. Unfortunately, though, it does look like netcode, at least
That's what I was
from
worried about.
my perspective. I think they were still going to make contact. I still think this wreck would have happened, but unfortunately, it looks like good old netcode in these trucks strikes again as the 88 gets snagged up in it. He ends up coming down the track and snagging, looks like 69 of Larry Dickerson pretty good there. As bits and pieces of the 88 flying down the racetrack.
Brown, I'm not sure they were going to connect. Albert had kind of straightened it out. Man, that was netcode, but it was so close, right? Like, that's probably a foot apart. But it was definitely netcode, and I'm not going to... I don't know if they actually would have connected.
It did result in a meatball flag for Albert Anderson for sure, because that the engine side of the truck, otherwise the front, otherwise known as the front, freaking hit the wall pretty hard.
He smacked the wall hard. But yeah, I'm going to go
down a couple cylinders.
I'm going to blame that totally on netcode. It was a close netcode, Brown, but it was definitely netcode involved. Man.
So Joe
Can't
Canellis
get rid of the netcode.
Joe Canella says, we're saying his name right. That's good. He's in Virginia, just outside of D.C. I wonder if he's military.
Well, that or
He's just looking to
He
run
could-
cleanly, he says, whether he's racing for 20th, 10th, or 1st. So he's kind of like us, I think, Adam, where we just like to race and we don't care where we finish. We like to finish up towards the front, but if we don't, oh well. As long as we're having fun out there. Albert Anderson's pop out there saying, oh no, net code all the way on that. He's in agreement with you.
I think so. Unfortunately. But that's going to ruin Albert's night. Pretty much, I think. With that,
Oh yeah,
well,
that
that's
truck's
not
wrecked.
that's not good. I mean, he's got a fast repair. I'd assume he hadn't used it yet. But having to tow and all that stuff takes time, and he's still, in the pits. So
Do you need a box of Kleenex down there in the pits there, Adam?
yeah, I
I
know.
you
I
have
mean,
a special bond with the guy. And,
I mean, yeah,
you know,
he is one of my favorites. But
I don't want you to be upset.
no, I mean, it happens to everybody, right?
He was racing hard, trying to stay above the cut line and
Yeah.
continue the playoffs. And this playoff berth for him was a gift in itself, because we had a couple guys that dropped out. But oh man, what an effort here tonight! And yeah, I understand if you shed a tear or two.
I have, I love everyone equally here, but Albert and I, we all go back with Albert a little bit. He's
We
been great
know.
for this league and for AAA broadcasting too. It's been
His
good to
family's
us.
always here supporting him. And
Yeah,
we got a lot of other families too. And when Joseph starts racing here, he'll understand that too. Hey, send the broadcast link to your family and friends, and when they chime in, we'll definitely mention the shout outs. And
yeah, I'd like to interact. with them.
it's no secret that the folks that have the most support on the YouTube thread get a little more camera time, I think. Or if you have a driver cam, that gives you a little more camera time as well.
Or if you're just amazing and always winning, that
Or
helps
if you
too.
if you're just awesome like Tim Pope all the time.
Yeah,
The Ain't Dead Yet Texaco number 7 out there running. That Chevrolet's been fast all season again. Guy's just
Davey
an
Ellison
incredible driver.
throwback.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing driver, winner of season 1. Winner of countless races.
We'll see what happens here.
And that we will as we line things up side by side once again. Back to the green flag we go. 14 laps left remaining as they come back down across the line, letting those engines fire on up once again. The 7 machine down on the bottom side. 81 Jonathan Osborne making a good run up on the high side, getting the run, getting the momentum, and slings his way back around the 7 to take control of the lead here once again as the 84 Josh Bittner working his magic down on the bottom side. He is side by side with that 6 of Trevor Robertson. 55 of Ricky Wittenberg trying to make some moves here, as well as Kevin Hunt having a few issues down there. Does get the truck pointed back in the right direction. He ends up losing quite a few spots there as the action returns up front here. Side by side, teammates going at it, 84 and the 6. Also seeing the 69 of Larry Dickerson. He knows what he has to do. He has to try to get in front of all these guys and pick up the race win here tonight to sneak his way on into this field, with the 14 of Dustin with a Y there as well, trying to do his best to keep up as much as possible, not lose too many positions here as he's battling side by side with the 55 and the 33.
Kevin Hunt has had some issues tonight with this track, but mark my words, the more we see of this guy, the better he's going to get each season, I'm sure. Even if he doesn't run the Petty Blue, even if he changes his paint scheme, that might not affect his luck at all. But, I know he's going to get better the more and more he races. Look forward to seeing what we're going to get out of this cat in future seasons.
And Just Vaught doing all he can right now. His playoff hopes kind of burning away lap after lap. He needs to get up to the front and then something calamitous to happen to some of the drivers that are currently holding on to those top spots for him to get his way back on into a possible championship run, as he does finally get clear of the 55 of Ricky Wittenberg. 14 of Dustin with a Y, having to check up a little bit as things tightened on up right in front of him, as the 69 of Larry Dickerson continues to try to chase down that 6 of Trevor Robertson.
19 in the wall again. Jack Dixon scraping the wall. Last couple of laps, he's scraped it several times. We got to keep in mind that accumulative damage model that they've got on these trucks. You hit that wall enough, you're gonna break a ball joint or something in that front end. This simulation is very, getting very realistic when it comes to the buildup of damage on your suspension.
What's realistic is that battle up front with Jonathan Osborne and Timothy Pope. They're
Getting
side
good,
by
ain't
side
it?
again. Yeah. No, good one behind them too. Dickerson, Robertson, Bittner.
Ooh,
Good stuff.
Klein got loose, able to save it. Good save.
That's the 7 of Timothy Pope working that bottom line. A little bit of a crossover look here from that 81 of Jonathan Osborne to try to retake this lead. Back and forth, ebb and flow here as it goes almost 3 wide behind him with the 84-6 and the 69.
Chachi and Pope fighting for a lead. I love this. The crossovers, the madness. I love it.
It looks like, at least for now, it's calmed down just a little bit as the 7 kind of opens up a little bit of space there, trying to prevent anything to lose that position to the 81 as he regains control here. 69, Larry Dickerson looking on down low to the 6 machine and trying to catch up to that 64. He's got to get around that 64 and then get a couple extra spots on him here to try to make up some of that time and make up some of those points. Again, about 4 points back, and it's all coming on down to these final 4 laps. Who's in, who's out? It all comes down to this with 4 laps left remaining as Timothy Pope and Jonathan Osborne just driving off into the sunset here, trying to get whatever room that they can. 3 laps to go.
And just to point out, Uncle Dave Mayberry is ahead of Kyle Vaught on the track. Just wanted to point that out to our viewers, if it hadn't been pointed out already.
Yeah, that's going on, but Dickerson and Bittner are having a good battle. Robertson as well. Right there for 3rd place, I think you're going to see some activity here.
Oh, that indeed is a 14 of Dustin with a Y, goes hot, stepping it down through the infield, able to rejoin the track without too much of an issue. Goodness. Talk about just full sending it. He knows what he's got to do to keep his playoff dreams alive here. As the 33 and the 84 go side by side. 33 moving up another position here as the white flag waves. This will be it, with nobody really hounding that back bumper of the 7 of Timothy Pope, driving his way out of turns 1 and 2, now down into turns 3 and 4, looking even Steven, steady Eddie for that 7 machine to pick up the race win here from Iowa. Jonathan Osborne hanging on for that 2nd place finish with the 69 of Larry Dickerson, rounding out your podium here tonight. And he did end up finishing a total of 2 drivers in between Dickerson and Bittner. It is gonna be close. We're gonna have to look out for whatever bonus points or penalties come either driver's way, but I don't think penalties is gonna be a factor.
What a finish. What a season here. I think this is going to go down as one of the greatest seasons in VRL league history, as we've seen just about everything happen in this league. And thanks to all the fans for out there watching, everybody commenting out there. Red Arnell, thank you for being here, saying great race, just another great broadcast. Thank you for all of it. Appreciate you being here. Albert Anderson saying, hey, sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield. That's racing. You know, that's the attitude to have every time you get behind the wheel here. knowing that anything can happen out there in these races, and anything does. But it's been a great season. We're glad that y'all are on this roller coaster ride with us.
Yeah, good race tonight, and hit that like, subscribe, and the bell button, all that stuff.
Sweet. Wait for final word about spotlight drivers and the podium drivers to step up to the podium, ready to get to talking here.
That's right. I'm gonna get me a refill while we're waiting on that.
Yeah. Reminder to folks that we will be in action for the championship race coming up next week from New Hampshire. I know, hey, don't. It's gonna be an interesting track for a championship, that is for sure. Where whoever the 4 finalists will end up being, it's whoever finishes the highest coming up next week. They'll be your champion. So definitely something to be on the lookout for.
Yeah, it's your favorite track too, from what I remember.
Yeah, totally. Still haven't seen any haulers, by the way.
No,
No, it's been.
maybe sneaking in on you.
Yeah, that would be my hope.
Do you normally see the caravan coming in from where you're at?
I normally see a couple of the at least the Xfinity guys, Cup guys. I don't typically not able to. I'm not able
Fair
to
enough.
see.
I'm back, buddy.
All right.
Oh, goodness.
So,
We've been waiting.
I'm
on
going to. I know it hasn't been announced in the Discord yet, but I believe the 33 of Jess Vaught is probably going to be our spotlight driver of the race. So let's go ahead and talk to the driver of the 33 and one of the league owners here, Mr. Jess Vaught, with a valiant effort here tonight, moving up 19 positions. Your hard charger of the race to finish here in 5th. Man, oh man, talk about a fantastic race here, Jess. I know a lot of people were worried going through practice, seeing a whole bunch of spinning coming out of turn number 4 here tonight, but man, we saw a long green flag run there in the middle, and that's where you kind of put your skills and talent to work and made up all those 19 spots.
Oh yeah, it was I thought it was a very impressive race. I mean, yeah, these guys were spinning out in practice, but they're trying to find the edge, right, of speed and tragedy. So yeah, I came up short, man. It's like about 4 points, and that's all attributed to last year's debacle. I'm sorry, last race's debacle. So, but yeah, I mean, I gave it the old college try, came up short, and I'll be just looking forward to next season. Maybe go be a spoiler for next week's race.
Yeah, great season here so far. VRL, we were bragging on y'all a little bit during the broadcast about putting on some of the best racing that's out there on the iRacing platform. And Lori letting us know, hey, you guys are back to having a waiting list to join your league again. I mean, how good of a feeling is that, knowing that you guys started this thing and now it's just kind of snowballed into something that people look forward to every Wednesday night to tune in. You got drivers that aren't even racing in the league yet, like Joe out there commenting and watching the YouTube stream and, really just kind of getting pumped up and looking forward to next season.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, we have been recruiting a little bit harder this time and different avenues of recruiting. And yeah, we got a pretty substantial waiting list for both leagues. This one in the Vanquish series on Friday, which isn't broadcast. But I'm glad some of the new drivers were able to jump onto the broadcast tonight and see what they can expect. Good hard racing, but clean racing for the most part too. And any incidents we do have are completely incidental and not a product of people just driving way over their head or being malicious.
Yeah, this is really a short track. I mean, we know it runs a little more like a mile and a half, but y'all made a good work out of it. Way more impressive than they did Sunday. Very few incidents. A lot of clean racing. Good job tonight. Who'd you like to give some thank yous to or some shout outs to tonight?
Well, first, I want to congratulate the top 4. It looks like, barring anything in the post race, which I don't think there will be anything, it looks like Pope, Osborne, Eaton, and Bittner are going to make it through to the final race. So good luck to them. We got one former champion in there and 3 guys going for their first one. So that should be pretty entertaining next week. As far as shout-outs are concerned, yeah, Lori, as always, she does all this. She made this happen and turned it into what it was, as far as, because she's working all these recruiting efforts and working getting these guys in. I'm just a driver, man. I help out, when I can, but she's really the heartbeat behind all this. And then, of course, my son Kyle. I don't know how good a run he had tonight, but it's great to be able to race with him every Wednesday. And for Taylor watching up there in Chicago, my team, Vigilante Force, all those guys are great and keep encouraging us. And then you guys for the broadcast. As I always say, you highlight this league tonight. I'm sure our new drivers, hopefully they were impressed by the broadcast and the caliber of people they're going to be driving with. So thank you.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations there to the 33 at Just Fought, your spotlight driver, hard charger of the day, and top 5 finisher here tonight on top of it all, man. Great run here at Iowa. Go ahead, go play spoiler next week over there at New Hampshire. We look forward to seeing you guys back out here in action again, buddy.
You bet, guys. Have a great night.
And with that, we will start our podium introductions with tonight's 3rd place finisher, driver of the 69, Mr. Larry Dickerson, having a fantastic race and a fantastic finish out there, stealing up a couple extra spots, and even it's going to be a little close here, Dickerson. I don't know if you're going to be able to make it in or not. I know it's all going to come down to the final point tally later on tomorrow night when everything's get added up, but man, you did what you had to do to try to keep your playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, all thing I could do there with 15 to go was come take some fresh set of tires when everybody else stayed out, because this track is a very love-hate relationship between me and this track. I can run good, but I don't have the best luck, and that was my only chance, and it paid off tonight.
Well, it helped having a couple of extra sets of tires that y'all did have out there tonight. This thing is so flat, and it does eat those tires up. Clean air, very important out there, but everybody that wasn't in the lead pack there, or in the leader positions, I should say, didn't really have the advantage of the clean air. What was your biggest challenge running out there at that flat track at Iowa tonight?
It was just mainly just, like I said, the track position. If you drive too hard, you're driving off the right front, burning the right front tire up. But if you get in the gas too much, too early in the corner, you're going to spin it out. So it's a very fine line. You just got to find that balance, and that's something I'm good at, is finding that balance and saving tires for the long run. But it always pays off to have those extra set of tires when you need them.
Well, you made it work. Podium finish. Good job tonight. Who'd you like to get some shout outs to?
And this is a courtesy of Lori. I'd like to thank my teammates, Albert, Jack, and Jeremiah in this league. VRL, and of course, Jess and Lori for putting this on every week. My 3rd cousin, her ex-husband, my dogs, my roosters, tampons, Tampax, my boss, his grandma, my mailman, Burger King, Sweet Tea, Carolina, the guy I said hey to while pumping gas last month, my wife, her uncle's daughter, the neighbor on my right, the old man down on the corner, and my sponsor.
I'm just going to let him go because this is funny.
LA Construction, Iron Horse Designs from Awesome Paint Jobs, and of course y'all guys know Angelman Syndrome Foundation. She's got me all messed up with that. Angelman Syndrome Foundation. Anybody can go help out any forms of autism, man. You'd be doing any kind of charity towards that. Would be awesome. And of course, last but not least, y'all guys for doing an amazing broadcast. Y'all are the best in the business, and I'll always say that. And Ted, when I see you work tomorrow, buddy, we did it.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations. A 3rd place podium finish for the 69 of Larry Dickerson, man. Congratulations. Hopefully the point totals come out for you here, buddy. But either way, good luck coming up next week for the season finale over there at New Hampshire, bud.
Appreciate it. Hopefully I get to talk to y'all next week. And until next time, the milk dud is out.
Dang, that was epic. The guy pumping gas. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Sweet.
Nice.
Continue with some of our driver interviews. Let's go ahead and talk to tonight's second place finisher on the day, the 81 of Mr. Jonathan Osborne, picking up another fantastic podium finish here tonight. Jonathan, you have been on an absolute tear ever since these playoffs got started. You were pretty steady there through the regular season, picking up top 10s left, right, and center. But now, man, you're picking up podiums every freaking dang race. You're doing a great job out there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. It just clicking, peaking at the right part of the season like Ryan Blaney did last season.
Well, the gloves are off now, right? I mean, it looks like you're into the top 4 here, and going to finish this thing out very strong. So going to New Hampshire, knowing that everything's on the line here, fighting for your first championship. Are you prepared to do what you need to do when you need to do it? And I mean, even if it means taking somebody out and just getting into somebody's rear end. I mean, Chachi, we know that you're one of the nicest dudes that's out there on the track, but are you prepared to do what you got to do? I mean, do you go out there and just you got to practice that bump and run, man. You got to get ready to turn some folks.
Oh yeah, we're using the chrome horn next week.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Oh yeah, it's on. Especially like I told Pope just a minute ago, I'm gonna do everything I can to keep him from being a 3-time champion.
Oh man, I love this
You
stuff.
heard it here first.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're in the money now, so great job tonight. I guess you're gonna put some laps down. Hopefully, gets a lot of practice in this week for New Hampshire. I know it's a tough track, but hey, good luck to you next week. And who'd you like to give some shout outs to?
Yeah, thank you guys. Well, first I'd like to shout you guys out. You do an amazing broadcast. And I'd like to shout out my sponsors, Larry Donahue with Daystar Screens and Indecisive Chaos Lifestyle brand, and Josh Bittner with Track Dogs Racing. You know, they help me out a lot with all this, and you know, my sister and brother-in-law and all my family that supports me, and Lori and Jess and making this really awesome league. Be out here to come do what we love, and I think I got a force feedback wheel coming to me, so we might be on a wheel here soon.
Oh.
Gonna try to figure that out, so stay tuned.
That indeed we will, as the 81 of Jonathan Osborne finds his way home in second here tonight, up 7 spots on the day. Man, congratulations. Enjoy this run that you've been having, and let's get her done coming up next week there at New Hampshire, buddy. Good luck.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it.
And with that, we close out the driver interviews with tonight's race winner. He started up at the front. He's finishing up at the front. It's the 7 of Timothy Pope punching his ticket for the chance to pick up his 3rd season championship here with the VRL. Tim, congratulations here, buddy. A great drive. Talk about that final battle you had there with Osborne, because I know kind of there in the middle of the race, it looked like it was going to be an 8 dead yet 1, 2, 3 finish there for a while. Both you, Trevor, and Josh having a fantastic run, but then things got a little spicy there at the end.
Yeah, we're shaping up for 8 dead yet there at the end, but like you said, the caution, we had a battle with Osborne there. I knew it was going to take about a good 6, 7 laps where my tires felt anyhow settled down a little bit, so just kind of took it easy a little bit and kept them on my radar there and wait for a good time to strike. Able to get around them.
Well, Tim, we've talked to you so many times here on the podium, and that Haviland Chevrolet was lightning quick out there once again. Tire wear definitely a factor out there tonight, and you managed it very well. New Hampshire coming up next week. Tire wear going to be a big issue there as well. But you're going to have to be mirror driving a little bit too, because we know some of these other playoff drivers have talked to us and said, hey, we're going to do whatever it takes to win. You know, if it comes to, you know, popping old Pope in the tailgate, you know, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I mean, they got to do what they got to do, I guess. I don't think none of them's won any championship that's oversized me. That's left. So they going to be hungry.
I love it, man. Talking a little bit of smack, but You're gonna have to put some laps in there. I'm sure. Have you raced it before, New Hampshire?
Yeah, I've raced it a few times.
Okay. The beauty is when we ask Pope if he's raced it. No, I never been there. Then
Yeah,
he wins
I'm
it
just
next
gonna
week.
figure it out. Yeah, he will.
Well, anyway, great job tonight. That was a really fun race to watch. Anyway, and who'd you like to give some shout outs to?
Everybody on this team. Osborne for a good, clean, fun battle there at the end. I think that's one of the best ones I've had with him. Josh, we think he's made it in. You guys for broadcasting, Jess and Lori putting on a great league here. And Ricky Rittenberg for all the paint work he does for us.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations to the 7 of Timothy Pope, your race winner here from Iowa, man. Congratulations. Go enjoy this victory and good luck trying to pick up that number 3 championship here, buddy.
Thank you.
Oh, man. And with that, that will bring all the action to a close. And it was an action-packed race here from Iowa indeed. A very, very long green flag run followed up by some spiciness. Got some cautions coming on out and tied everybody on up. And boys, that was just one heck of a wild ride, and glad we were here for it.
But it finished under green, and everybody was real happy with the result. Well, most people were happy with the result. At least the type of racing that we saw out there. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. Like you said during the practice session. Jess was talking about, everybody was just trying to push it and see how hard they could push it and push it to the limit and see where that limit was. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that when we got under green flag during the race session that these guys put on one hell of a show. I'm glad everybody was here to see it, especially over there in the YouTube channel.
Yeah, no, it was, can't say enough about it. Iowa, I had Iowa stories. I had stuff about aliens. We didn't even get into it because the race was so
ethanol.
Good. Yeah, I remember all that, but no. Good.
Put a corn
good
cob
race.
in your tank.
Good race tonight.
Yeah, good race indeed. As we wind things down, let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver ended up finishing here tonight with that 7 of Timothy Pope up on victory lane. 81, Jonathan Osborne having a great drive up there into second. And the 69 of Larry Dickerson rounding out that podium. 6 of Trevor Robertson showed a lot of great speed out here tonight and why he's a past season champion, finishing up there in fourth. And your hard charger of the day, trying to sneak his way back above that cut line, that 33 of Jess Vaught, up 19 spots to round out your top 5. Josh Bittner in the 84 knew he just kind of had to keep it steady up there, up at the front, and that's what he did. He gets away with a 6th place finish here tonight. His another Ain't Dead Yet team member there with Ricky Wittenberg. So Ain't Dead Yet had a fantastic night up there. Everybody up inside that top 10, finishing here tonight in 7th. Minus Kyle Vaught. Sorry, Kyle. I keep forgetting that Kyle's on Ain't Dead Yet, but either way, it's a solid night for Ain't Dead Yet. Nonetheless, that's 14 of Dustin with the Y, having a great race here as well, finishing in 8th. 89 of Craig Goodenough, unfortunately not good enough to continue in these playoffs, but a pretty good showing here tonight, finishing in 9th. With the 53 of Jeremiah Burke, up 13 spots on the day, rounding out your field's top 10.
Yeah, and Burke, the first car one lap down, or truck one lap down, rather. Only 9 vehicles on the lead lap here. Andrew Cawthon in the 10 machine finishes right where he started, right there in 11th place. 12th place goes to our buddy Greg Klein in the 92 truck. 28 of George Rincon finishing in 13th place. 14th goes to David Fight in the 1. 74 of Zachary Hallinan finishes in 15th place after starting up in 7th. Probably not too happy with falling a few spots there, but still finishing one lap down there. 16th place goes to Kelly Keel in the 01. Saw a lot of tight racing between him and the 10 here tonight. The 29 truck, Dave, the nickname Mayberry, also 2 laps down here in 17th place. 18th goes to Jack Dixon in the 19. We had a little conversation with the wall a few times here tonight. 43, John Curtis cutting some grass down there. He'll finish in 19th place. And rounding out your top 20 tonight, Mike Everidge in the 82.
16, Kyle Vaught. And the 21st, 22nd, 085, Greg Dobson. 77, Jacob Young. 23rd, 24th, number 4 of Dion Jones. 434, Kevin Hunt. 25th, 26, 88, Mike Adamson. America's Driver had that bad wreck there, Albert Anderson. 27th, 28th, Sean McDonald. And the 23, 123 of John Gallagher rounds it out in 29th. And then thank you, Lori, for race control.
And there you have it, your field here from Iowa. As always, we thank you all for tuning in and watching, having a wonderful time out here with us, because you guys are the reason why we do this. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you get alerted every single time that we go live. And if you enjoy any of the action, be sure to hit that thumbs up button so we can continue to grow this fantastic racing community. Of course, we also have to say a huge proud thank you to the sponsors of the VRL, such as GC Cruise Travel, Blue Fox Properties with Mr. Dave Mayberry, and D&D Race Graphics with Southbound Real Estate and Mr. Ricky Wittenberg. Thank you all for your continued support to help allow the VRL to put on the amazing show week in and week out like they always do. So big thank you. So with that, that's going to round out the racing here for the week. We will return on Sunday evening with some Numb Thumbs Racing League Super Speedway Series as their playoffs continue to trundle on. And then Monday, their Cup Series comes back into town for some more fantastic racing in their playoffs. It's starting to come on down to the wire for both of those, so definitely stay tuned for that one. But until then, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We are signing off.
We gone.
See ya.